Okay. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to day 5, the final session of our Copilot journey. Over the past few sessions, we explored how Copilot has enhanced our productivity. Today, we are going to focus on something exciting, that is Edit with Copilot, and we will see how it works across different Microsoft 365 applications. So, with that, let's begin our journey. So, before we begin, let me quickly walk you through today's agenda. First, we'll understand Edit with Copilot, which was previously known as agent mode, and we'll understand the concept behind it. Next, we'll look at the architecture overview to understand how it works behind the scene. After that, we'll explore how it works inside Excel and Word, along with a live demo to see it in action. Finally, we will conclude with an overview of Copilot licensing model. So with that overview, let's get started. Now, let's understand Edit with Copilot, what it is and why it is important. So Edit with Copilot, which was previously known as agent mode, enables Copilot to plan, execute, and verify multi-step tasks using advanced reasoning and deep integration with Microsoft 365 apps. Traditionally, AI simply responds to questions, but with Edit with Copilot, it works differently. So instead of just answering, it understands the goal, plans the step, and completes the task across different applications. Now the question is, why is it important? So in real business environment, tasks are rarely single step. They usually involve multiple documents, tools, and decisions. If you look at the slide, each tile highlights a practical business use cases. Like in Word, Copilot can create one-page brief, refine document, and update reports using information from file, emails, and chat. In Excel, it can build model, run analysis, and fix formulas or formatting issues. So because of these capabilities, organization can achieve a faster delivery, reduce manual error, consistent formatting and output, better traceability of reasoning and decision. So overall, Edit with Copilot transform AI from something that only answers questions into something that work alongside us and help complete our real business task. Now let's look at the architecture behind Edit with Copilot. This architecture is called Microsoft AI Reasoning and Integration Platform because it provides two key functions. First is reasoning and we have integration. So let's understand reasoning. So Copilot doesn't just respond to a prompt, it actually thinks step by step to understand the task and determine how to solve it. Second, we have integration. A system connects with different tool, application, and data source to complete the work. So overall, uh, the platform is both intelligent and deeply connected. So if we look at the diagram, the architecture is organized in four main layers. We have the core service, interaction tool, Microsoft apps, and governance and compliance. So now everything starts with a user prompt. The moment a user gives a request, it moves to core service layer, which acts as the brain of the system. This is where Copilot performs reasoning, understands the context, and plans the step which is required to complete any task. Next, the system uses interaction tool, which acts as a connector to interact with different services and workflow. After that, the task is executed inside Microsoft applications like Word, Excel, or PowerPoint. And throughout this entire process, governance and compliance layer ensure that everything remains secure, controlled, and trustworthy. So what looks like a simple response to a user is actually a complete workflow from understanding the request to reasoning to execution, all happening within a secure environment. Now let's dive a little deeper and understand what happens behind the scene when Edit with Copilot execute a task. So the important thing to understand is that the system doesn't simply respond once and stop. Instead, it thinks, acts, verifies, and improves continuously until the desired task is completed. That continuous cycle is what we call Edit with Copilot reasoning loop. For example, if a user gives a simple instruction, like create a sales summary and build a chart, the response may look instant, but internally the system goes through 7 structured steps. Let's start with step 1, user prompt. So everything begins here in the UI layer. The user simply describes the goal in a natural language. This prompt triggers the entire workflow. Next, we move to orchestration layer, where planning and decision making happens. Here's step 2, that is chain of thought planning, breaks the request into smaller tasks and determines what needs to be done. Then comes step 3, that is a reasoning engine, which acts as the brain of the system. It decides which tools to use, what action to take, and how to execute the task. After planning, the process moves to tools layer. Here, two steps happens, that is step 4 and step 5. In step 4, document context producer, it gathers relevant information and prepares an execution blueprint. Then we move to interaction tool, which performs the actual action. For example, applying formulas, creating charts, or updating content inside the application. Next, we reach to the apps layer, where applications like Excel, Word, or PowerPoint update the content, recalculates the result, and applies the requested changes. You'll notice a loop in this diagram. This represents the iteration cycle. When the system detects something incomplete or needs improvement, it repeats the process and refines the result. Finally, the results are streamed back to the user interface where users see the output. So what appears to be a very simple response is actually a complete cycle of understanding the request, reasoning, gathering context, execution task, and validating the result. And that's the intelligence behind how Edit with Copilot works. So now that we understood how Edit with Copilot works behind the scene, let's see how this capability is used in real applications. First, let's look at how it works inside Excel. With Edit with Copilot in Excel, we are no longer restricted to writing formulas manually or preparing data step by step. Instead, we can simply explain what we want, and the Excel take care of that complexities. For example, it can clean and structure messy data sets automatically and generate complex formulas from plain English instruction, create a pivot table and charts by detecting patterns in data, run what if analysis to model different scenarios. So rather than spending time deciding which formula to write or which chart to create, you simply describe your goal and the system handles the analysis, modeling, and visualization in the background. This allows us to focus more on understanding the insights from data rather than spending time on manual tasks. So now let's have a demo for this. Over to you, Nidhi, for the demo.
Thank you, Sonanika. Let me just share my screen. So, as we discussed in the slides, Edit with Copilot in Excel brings an expert Excel partner directly into the workbook. So, instead of writing formulas, building reports, or fixing data manually, we simply need to describe what we want in natural language, and the Copilot does the work for us. So you will find this option like once you will click on Copilot option from the menu bar and then click on Tools and select Edit with Copilot option. So now I have to prepare a report on cloud usage of my MPN subscription. So I'll just put a prompt and I will attach a cloud sheet that contains my cloud that contains my like subscription details. I'll just paste it. So with Edit with Copilot, we don't need to know complex formulas or Excel workflows. We can talk to Excel just like we talk to a colleague. And Copilot understands our request, plans the steps, and executes them and checks the result all inside the same file. So it will take few minutes to complete the task. The time taken by the co-pilot also depends on the complexity of the prompt. Since this process can be time consuming, I'll share a report. I have this report. I have entered this prompt about 5 minutes ago, and here you can see how Copilot is working and reasoning over the given prompt in real time. So edit with Copilot, we can see what it is working on and what it is doing. We can review the changes, understand the logic, and stay fully in control. Nothing is hidden. It's like watching an Excel expert work inside your file. So you can go through the reasoning steps here and can understand how the model processed the prompt and generate this report. So Edit with Copilot first understands what I am trying to achieve and then it breaks the task into steps and then performs those steps one by one. And finally, it verifies the output before showing it to me. So you can see like here it is asking me to see these changes and if I am okay with this and then I can click on done. So this report was like you can all have seen that this report was prepared by Copilot. And one of the most important highlight of this work is the data cleaning process. Data cleaning is often one of the most time consuming and critical steps in any analysis, as raw data usually contains inconsistencies, missing values, duplicates, and formatting issues. So, in this case, Edit with Copilot handled the entire data cleaning process within the script itself. The script automatically identified and resolved data quality issues, standardized the data, and prepared it in a structured and usable format. So, this significantly reduced my manual effort and the risk of human error. Switching to the second tab, if you look at the level of details in this report, it provides insight across multiple dimensions. Like it has key metrics that contains the total cost, and then it divides the cost into service category like by storage, virtual networks, virtual machines, and so on. And in addition to the detailed cost breakdown, the report also provided like includes visual representations like graphs, pie charts, and many more, which makes the data easier and to understand and analyze it. Also, if you hover over the like cells, you can see the underlying formulas here. So which makes it easy to review and understand the calculations, and one can easily verify the logic. Overall, Edit with Copilot has made complex tasks like data cleaning, analyzing trends, file preparation, and report generation much easier and more efficient. What would typically take significant manual effort can now be achieved quickly and systematically, allowing us to focus more on insights and decision making rather than repetitive data preparation work. Also, it can like improve and personalize an existing file too. So let me just switch to another file. And so far, like if you see that this report shows all subscription cost in USD, but for our India team, USD doesn't always give an intuitive sense of impact. So now I want to localize this entire cost analysis to INR without manually touching formulas, charts, or tables. So I'll just put a prompt to convert all costs value to from USD to INR. So what's important here is I didn't tell Excel where each formula is or which chart to edit. I have simply described the intent. Behind the scene, Edit with Copilot is first understanding the structure of this workbook, where costs are calculated, how totals roll up, and which visuals depends on those numbers. Then it plans the step. It will first check the current exchange rate and then update the formulas, recalculate the values, and finally re-render the charts, all while keeping the model auditable. In the same way, you can modify any part of the Excel file simply by describing the change in natural language. So as you can see, it is working on changing all the USD from USD to INR, and it will take few minutes here to convert it. So to conclude, Edit with Copilot makes Excel simpler and powerful. And you don't need any advanced Excel skills, and you stay in control while AI does the work for you. So it turns Excel from a tool you operate into a partner that works with you. So thank you. Over to you, Sonalika.
Thank you, Nidhi. Now let's see how Edit with Copilot work inside Word. The slide highlights how AI helps with intelligent drafting, summarizing, and document refinement. With agent mode in Word, we don't have to start from scratch every time. Instead, the system can support us throughout the entire writing process. For example, it can draft content based on existing documents or note, rewrite text to change tone or format, review and edit for clarity, consistency, and style, generate summaries from long document automatically. So instead of spending time writing, rewriting, and reviewing manually, you simply explain what you need, and the agent helps us to refine the document step by step. This improves both speed and quality of your work. Let's have a demo for this as well. Over to you, Nidhi.
Thank you, Sonalika. Let me just share my screen. Okay. So in Word, Edit with Copilot handles writing, editing, and context gathering for us. So instead of us worrying about the structure, tone, or formatting, we describe what we want to achieve, and Copilot does everything directly in the document. So let me just start with a blank document. Normally, this is where people struggle and ask, should I start? So with Edit with Copilot, I don't begin by typing content. Instead, I simply describe the goal and Copilot takes it from there. So I'll put a prompt after selecting Edit with Copilot option under the Tools menu. So to create a professional document for Edit with Copilot, and I have added some instruction for a document, and I've also attached a supporting document from where it will take all the informations from. I'll just put a prompt. So you might be wondering about the length of the prompt. So the reason I have added these details instruction is because a better defined prompt leads to better result. Clearly defining your requirements help Copilot delivers uh, delivers a better and relevant output. So this is how you can add more instructions as needed. So when Copilot edits in Word, it uses Work IQ for creating or refining content. And behind the scene, Edit with Copilot is breaking this request into multiple steps and understanding the topic, defining a logical structure, drafting sections, and applying formatting directly in the Word. So this multi-step reasoning is what differentiates Edit with Copilot from simple text generation. So, one important thing to highlight is that even though Copilot is doing this autonomously, I stay fully in control of the document. Once the content will appear, I can review it, edit it, accept the changes, or roll them back if needed. So, that's what makes Edit with Copilot suitable for enterprise documentation. So since this execution will take time, I will show the document that I have already created using Edit with Copilot. So as you can see that this really gives me a great starting point for creating the document. Instead of spending time building everything from scratch, I can now use this structured content as a base and simply make the required edits wherever needed. So, because the formatting and structures are already taken care of, I don't have to worry about the headings, styles, or layout anymore. This allows me to focus much more on refining the actual content, improving clarity, and adding value rather than investing time in repetitive formatting tasks. So overall, it helps me work more efficiently and make better use of my time by concentrating what truly matters, the content itself. So as you can see, Copilot has structured the document exactly as per my prompt. Like it has set the Calibri body throughout the document and has used H1 for the main headings with blue. So and used H3 for subtitles in blue also and kept all the body content in normal text. So just to make this more relatable, I've actually used the day 5 presentation to create this document. Now, if you look at the content here, you will notice that it's actually very accurate and closely aligned with what we have discussed in this session. The document clearly captures the key sections like what is Edit with Copilot and why it matters. And then it then walked through a detailed architecture overview explaining how the process works end to end. And then the document after that it covers the integration with different applications like Excel and then in Word. So because of this, I don't have to spend time figuring out what sections to add or how to organize the document. One important thing to highlight is that like Copilot may ask for more inputs from the user when needed. So this can happen if the prompt is not clear, if some information is missing, or if a steps times out. So because of this, the result may not always come in a single step. Instead, it works in multiple rounds. So this repetitive back and forth is called the iteration cycle, which was shown in the architecture indicated with dotted arrows. A key use case of Edit with Copilot in Word is improving existing documents, like allowing users to enhance drafts without manual rewriting, while maintaining transparency and control. So we can say like for teams like HR, finance, IT or engineering, this means we have faster document creation, less rework, consistent quality, and we spend more time on thinking, not on formatting. So to summarize this demo, Edit with Copilot in Word turns Copilot into a collaborative co-author, helping us create, refine, and format documents using simple natural language. So that's it from my end. Thank you. Over to you, Sonalika.
Now let's look at another important aspect, that is Copilot license. All the capabilities which we discussed earlier become available in an organization only when the appropriate license is enabled. The slide basically shows the difference between the base Microsoft 365 license, the Copilot add-on license, and the advanced Microsoft 367 E7 license. So most organizations already use Microsoft 365 plan like E3 or E5. Copilot is added on top of these plans. It doesn't replace the existing tool, but it actually enhances them with AI capabilities. And now with E7, Microsoft takes this one step further. by introducing AI agent along with advanced governance and deeper enterprise control. In simple terms, the base platform provides the productivity tool. Copilot add intelligence to those tools, and E7 bring advanced AI automation with enterprise grade control on top of everything. Also to be noted, Microsoft has announced that Microsoft 365 E7 suite will be generally available starting May 1st, 2026. If we look at the Copilot chat, without Copilot, chat mainly works with web information. With Copilot, it understands organizational data like files, email, meeting, and calendar, making responses more contextual and relevant. And with E7, it goes even further. It can interact with enterprise data along with AI agent, enabling more advanced automation and decision making. Similarly, applications like we have Word, Excel, and PowerPoint normally works independently. But with Copilot, AI works inside these apps and connect them using Microsoft Graph. And with E7, the intelligence become even more powerful with deeper integration and governed AI-driven workflow across the organization. So instead of switching between tools, the intelligence follow your workflow, and with E7, it can even act on that workflow intelligently. Another key area is security and collaboration. Since AI interact with organization data, Copilot includes enterprise-grade security, compliance, and governance. This extends to tools like Teams and Outlook, where Copilot can generate meeting summaries, draft emails, and highlight action items. With E7, this is enhanced further through advanced governance control, ensuring better monitoring compliance and control over how AI and agent operates across the organization. So organization not only get AI capabilities, they also get stronger control over how those capabilities are being used. One more difference shown here is around agent. So even without Copilot, organization can build agent using Copilot Studio, typically on pay-as-you-go model. But with Copilot, this agent become more powerful by connecting with Microsoft Graph and your organization data. With E7, agent become even more advanced with enterprise-grade governance, deeper integration, and better control, allowing organization to build and manage AI agent at scale securely. So E7 is especially useful for organization that want to move from simple AI assistance to full AI-driven automation and orchestration. So overall, the base platform provides the tool. Copilot brings intelligence and automation, and E7 takes it to the next level with AI agent, advanced governance, and enterprise scale control. It enables organizations not just to work smart, but also to operate more efficiently, securely, and at a scale. Now let's look at Copilot licensing model. This slide basically shows the different Copilot license options available for organization and how the capabilities vary between them. The slide shows three offerings, Copilot for Business, Enterprise, and Copilot Studio. Starting with Copilot for Business, which is mainly designed for smaller organizations. Next, we have Copilot for Enterprise, which is built for large organizations, and it provides deeper support within the workflow. In both cases, Copilot integrates directly with the Microsoft applications, such as we note as Teams, Outlook, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. This allows user to access AI assistants while working inside the application they already use every day. This license can be added to an existing Microsoft 365 plan. So organization can enable Copilot across their productivity tools without changing their current workflow. Both version also supports creating and using agent through Copilot Studio, which help organization automate tasks and extend Copilot capabilities. Finally, we have Copilot Studio. So Copilot Studio is mainly focused on building and managing autonomous agents. These agents can automate business processes and can be deployed across external channels such as websites and application or other digital platforms. So in simple terms, Copilot for Business and Enterprise focus on improving productivity inside Microsoft 365 apps, while Copilot Studio focuses on building and managing custom AI agents. If you'd like to explore licensing detail further, including pricing and feature breakdown, you can refer to this official Microsoft plan page as shown at the bottom of the page. So before we conclude, let's quickly recap what we covered today. We began with Edit with Copilot in agent mode, where we saw how Copilot moves beyond assistant to actually performing the task and automating the workflow. Next, we explored architecture overview, giving us clear understanding of how Copilot securely integrate with Microsoft 365 apps and organizational data. We then at Edit with Copilot in Excel and Word, where Copilot enhanced productivity by enabling intelligent data analysis, generating insights, and simplifying document creation and editing. And finally, we discussed about Copilot licensing model, understanding how these capabilities are made available through different licensing options. So overall, today's session highlighted how Copilot acts as an intelligent partner, transforming everyday work into more efficient and automated experiences. So like today, as we are at the end of the session, I just want to quickly brief what we discussed over these 5 days. We started with day one, which was foundation, where we built our understanding of how Microsoft Copilot. We explored what Copilot is, how it differs from traditional search, and the key features that make it powerful and productive tool. This gave a strong base for the rest of the session. On day two, we talked about integration. We saw how Copilot works seamlessly across Microsoft 365 applications like Outlook, Teams, and PowerPoint, and also within Windows. The key takeaway was that Copilot enhances the tool we already use rather than replacing them. Sorry. Moving to day three, we connectivity. We focused on how Copilot connects to data. We explored Copilot Chat, Copilot Search, and Connector, and understood how these help deliver more relevant and contextual response. Then on day four, we talked about agent and securities. We moved into more advanced capabilities. We explored Copilot Agent, including Microsoft Agent 365, and understood how agent can be used to automate tasks and support specific business scenarios. Along with that, we discussed agent management and the importance of security, ensuring that the data access permission and governance are handled properly while using these intelligent systems. And finally, today on day five, we talked about commercials. We covered the business and practical side of the Copilot. We looked at how Edit with Copilot work across different Microsoft 365 applications and discussed the Copilot licensing model. This helped us understand how organization can adopt, scale, and manage Copilot effectively from a commercial perspective. So overall, over these 5 days, we moved from fundamental to integration, connectivity, advanced capability, and finally the commercial aspect, giving us complete end-to-end understanding of Microsoft Copilot. With that, we come to an end of the session. Thank you all for your time and active participation. I hope this session have provided you clear understanding of Microsoft Copilot and its capabilities